Blog Talk Radio.
Writing your book is the easy part. Promoting your book so readers can find and purchase it is the hard part. Welcome to the Author Chat Show, hosted by author-publisher Lynda D. Brown. Follow us at www.facebook.com/authorchat. And to contact the show to promote your book, contact me at theauthorchatshow@gmail.com. Stay tuned and listen to today's show.
Afternoon, and welcome to the Sunday edition of the Author Chat Show. I'm your host, Lynda D. Brown. My guest today is author Lee Bice Matheson and her son, J.R. Matheson. J.R. will be joining us later in the conversation. I was very intrigued to receive the following email. Good morning. Would you be interested in interviewing a mom-son Supernatural Spiritual Writing Series team on your Author Chat Show? Well, as most of you know, I am also a supernatural Christian author. That's the genre that I write in. Yes, I was very excited to have Lee and her son come on the show. This will be their first appearance on the Author Chat Show, and we'll be right back to chat with them about their book, Shine Your Light, after a word from today's sponsor.
PrimeStar Publicity and Public Relations is a full-service firm ready to fill the needs of their clients. Owner Helen Cook has more than 32 years of publicity, public relations, advertising, and marketing experience, and she focuses her professional talents on working with her clients' strengths to create customized, strategic campaigns, whether their needs are great or small. Radio, TV, print, internet, publicity, marketing, creating a social media presence, branding, client positioning, author tours, speaking events. These are just some of the services PrimeStar provides for their clients. For a complete list of services and other information about the company, please visit our website, www.primestarpublicity.com, or email Helen at helen.cook@primestarpublicity.com, or phone 903-654-0938. PrimeStar's home office is located in the Houston, Texas area.
All right, welcome back to the show. For those of you just tuning in, my guest today is authors Lee Bice Matheson and her writing partner, her son, J.R. Matheson. J.R. will be joining the conversation later during the interview. Today, right now, we're going to bring on author Lee Bice Matheson, the mom, to tell us a little bit about how they got started writing books together. Lee, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi, Lynda. Thank you so much for having us tonight. Very kind of you to do that on a Sunday night, no less.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we enjoy having you on the show. Looking forward to hearing about your book. Now, since this is your first time, Lee, coming on the Author Chat Show, why don't we get started with you telling us a little bit about yourself? How long have you been writing?
Oh, I took a writing course back in 2004. It was through the Institute of Children's Literature. And I just, by the end of the course, my mentor, Cheryl Zach, said that I should start to write novels right away. And I was really surprised, but very honored indeed, and loved that she encouraged me to do this. So started to write the first book in the series called Wake Me Up Inside. It's a short novella. And I was just basically seeing if there was any interest in a teen heroine. Her name is Paige Maddison, of course. And she has to move with her parents to the grandparents' O'Brien estate, it's called. and the manor is a haunted mansion. And so really what they're there to do is help the ailing grandfather, but Paige has to solve a mystery on the estate that is tied into her grandfather's health. And then from there it progressed into Destiny's Gate Book 2, and that's when I asked JR, our son, to join me in writing because, well, he'll say, you know, about himself, but he's a really great writer, I think. So together we wrote Destiny's Gate, and our tagline for that is "Live from a place of love. It conquers all that is evil." And it's more of an epic battle sort of book. You know, it's about the age-old good versus evil. There's she is sort of awakening to her spiritual side of herself, and that parlays into our present book, Shine Your Light, and that's book 3 that we just released probably just less than 5 weeks ago. Okay.
And you actually have already received an award for this book, is that correct?
It's a bestseller on Amazon.com out of the United States. It's not in Canada, but through the United States. Thank you. And it's for our paperback edition. So it's on the top 100. It goes up and down since it was released, and it was the hot number 2 release behind Stephanie Meyer's new book for her Twilight Saga. So it's been a little bit shocking for us. Yes, it's been been very sort of almost life-changing as far as how people are receiving our series, and we did some interviews yesterday for the newspaper, and it's just interesting how things happen.
Lee, did you ever imagine that your book would be right up there on the bestsellers list with Stephanie Meyer?
No, Lynda, not at all. Really, this is something I did want to say. To me, this is like a Christmas miracle because 8 months ago, I didn't have an editor. Somebody I had hired sort of didn't want to do it, so I had to, at the last minute, scramble to find somebody, and I found the awesome Susan Hughes. She works with my independent editor. She helped to speed up the process of getting the book to a finished product, and then I went to our self-publisher, Friesen Press, and they said there's no way it will come out before Christmas. They have a lot of authors, and I understood that. Sure. We understood that, and here we are. It's published. We did our first book signing at Manticore Books in Aurelia yesterday, which was also a dream of mine. So here we are, and then it's on a bestseller list. Not my wildest dreams. Never. I just thought nobody will really pay attention, but I don't know. Here we are.
I know,
Life
right?
is interesting.
Congratulations. First of all, this is something as an author that we aspire to do, and I'm telling you guys, believe it or not, it's really not that difficult. Don't get me wrong. I'm not minimizing your success at all, but if you have a great product, if you have a great book cover, and we're going to talk about your book cover in just a minute because it's fabulous. If you have a great book cover and some great content and that is professionally edited, trust me, it's not hard to get on Amazon's booksellers list because they're looking for quality products. Your book, I haven't had a chance to read it, but I absolutely love the cover for Shine Your Light. Tell us how that came about.
Well, there was, we're on Twitter, and so you make your connections, a lot of connections like this on Twitter, I find, with author interviews, and there was an illustrator, and I really loved her covers. Her name is Nancy Batra, B-A-T-R-A, and she lives in India, of all places, and so I contacted her, and I said, would you mind doing the cover? And I explained to her what the book series was about with Paige Maddison, the teen heroine, and she came up with the cover. And, somebody tried to talk me out of it, and JR, both of us, and we just sort of went with our gut and said, no, I think this is the cover we should use, and people seem to really love it. So thank you for your feedback. That means a lot,
Absolutely.
Lynda.
That is fantastic. And for those of you that are listening to the show and you're online, if you go to Amazon and just type in Lee's name, because she is a Canadian publisher with Amazon, but you can still find her books. Just type in her name. You can't pull it up because I tried to pull it up by Shine Your Light, and you get all these other authors. But put in Lee, L-E-E-B-I-C-E is the last name, and then Matheson. It'll pull right up. That is a fantastic cover. I'm not sure why people are trying to talk you out of it. I think it really kind of speaks to what the genre of this book is about, the genre of the book. Now, did you guys use a stock photo for the image of the young lady on this?
I don't know because she designed it, so I don't know if that's a real person or, I just love that she's, she represents what Paige looks like with the curly, long auburn hair, and there's a little bit of a white streak if you really look. But she really did capture who Paige is, and so we were totally amazed.
Right. And did you give her a description of Paige, and that's why we see the little white hair and her beautiful curls of brown hair?
Yes. Yeah, we sure did. Yeah, just a description of her. Mm-hmm.
And tell us, what inspired you to write this book series?
Well, it probably started when I took the course. My dad became ill, and my mom soon after. The two of them died 9 months apart, and we lost about 7 people that were really close to us, including my father-in-law, Matt. People that were really close and that we love so much, and all of a sudden they're gone. So they say write what you know about. So I wrote about family relationships and everything included with that, and ailing health. And I was told by some traditional publishers that this would never go anywhere because family books are not really in. So to speak. And so I disagreed with that, and I'm so glad I did because I stuck to my heart. That's what I say to young writers that we have the opportunity to speak with. I say, if you write from your heart, you never get in trouble, And so that's when I started to write about, we call them earthbounds. Most people would call them ghosts, but, things that are supernatural and spiritual. And so we came by it honestly.
One of the things that we discuss on this show, Lee, is the fact that a lot of authors that really aren't aware of what's going on in the publishing industry. And the information that you got from your publisher, I think almost every author, that myself included, that has ever been on this show has said the same thing. I call the traditional publishers the gatekeepers. They were the ones that were able to determine what they wanted out, what kind of information they wanted out there, and information that did not sit well with them was not allowed. So I honestly believe, and then you guys that listen to the show on a regular basis, my spirituality. And one of the things that I believe with everything in me is that God opened up self-publish or indie publishing for such a time as this so that he could allow people to use the gifts that he gave us without having to get somebody's permission, and to do it our way and, under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, as opposed to doing it their way. So I think kudos to you and your son for bypassing that negative message. Yeah, absolutely. And just going ahead and just following your heart. That's awesome.
Wow, you said that beautifully. Yeah, thank you. That was beautiful. I'm glad you said that.
Well, thank you. Again, I appreciate the fact that this is why I do the show, so that I knew that there was, with a lot of us coming out, that there was going to be a problem trying to get the books out there, and I said, Lord, just show me, and this is how we came up with the Author Chat show. So great job.
Oh wow, way to go.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, Lee's going to read an excerpt from her book, and again, the title of the book is Shine Your Light, and this is book 3 of the Paige Maddison Series. So you know what, Paige, before we take the break, because I did want you guys to kind of touch on a little bit about what was in book 1 and book 2. So would you mind doing that before we take the break?
Sure, of course. So Wake Me Up Inside. It begins with Paige having some disturbing nightmares of a place she's never seen before and a vision of a girl haunting her dreams. And she's very angry when she has to move with her parents to the O'Brien Manor because of her estranged grandparents, one of whom is ill. And so she meets a young boy. This is a clean read, by the way, for ages 10 plus. So there's no sex, if I could be so blunt. But anyway, she meets a nice friend, Bradley Adam Parkman, and they explore the estate together, and they start to have supernatural experiences. And she stumbles upon a cemetery and finds a piece of a stone tablet, and that's what the mystery is, and it ties into the father's ailing health. She has to solve that. So that's the first book. The second book, Destiny's Gate, she has a haunting, of course, throughout the series of the 3 books, and her premonitions and ghostly visions become more clear. And she discovers that where there is darkness, there's also light. And then she decides that there's something on the estate that's really trying to harm her family, and so it's up to her to resolve what that is exactly, with the help of her friends. So in this book, the second book, there's spirit wolves involved, the archangels, and at the very end, the voice that has been guiding her reveals himself. And I'll just leave that there.
Okay, great. Now, can I ask you a question? These books, as I listen to you discuss your books and this wonderful heroine that you have in there, I'm assuming that you were probably a Nancy Drew fan growing up. Is that correct?
Oh my goodness! Did you know that they're calling us that?
No, but I was a Nancy Drew fan. And so whenever I see people about my age writing books with female, I'm like, I bet you they were fans of Nancy Drew.
Oh, my goodness. That's exactly it. Oh, that's too funny. You got that one. Yep. Thanks, Lynda.
So I know that one. Absolutely. All right, great. Now we're going to, we're for sure now going to go quickly take our commercial break. So that way when we come back, Paige will have enough time to read Lee will have enough time to read an excerpt from her book, Shine Your Light. All right, so don't go anywhere. Stay right here. We'll be right back. Sure.
Prime Star Publicity and Public Relations is a full-service firm ready to fill the needs of their clients. Owner Helen Cook has more than 32 years of publicity, public relations, advertising, and marketing experience, and she focuses her professional talents on working with her clients' strengths to create customized, strategic campaigns, whether their needs are great or small. Radio, TV, print, internet, publicity, marketing, creating a social media presence, branding, client positioning, author tours, speaking events. These are just some of the services Prime Star provides for their clients. For a complete list of services and other information about the company, please visit our website, www.primestarpublicity.com, or email Helen at helen.cook@primestarpublicity.com, or phone 903-654-0938. Prime Star's home office is located in the Houston, Texas area.
All right, we are back with author Lee Bice Matheson. Lee is going to read an excerpt from her book, in Shine Your Light, Book 3 of the Paige Maddison Series. Okay, Lee, can you tell us what page and what chapter you'll be reading from?
Yes, I'm going to read chapter 1, just the first a few pages. Okay? Thank you, Lynda.
Sure.
Chapter 1. Snowflakes dance and swirl beyond the window pane, capturing the sun's rays, glistening like diamonds as they drifted, mesmerizing me as I stood by and watched without a care in the world. Mother Nature had trapped me tight within her grasp. I was drawn into her beauty and magnetic, overpowering energy. Snowflakes accumulated, forming small mounds and snowdrifts, and I viewed the scene as if through the lens of time-lapse photography. I sensed danger was near, but yet felt warm and peaceful inside, and then I sensed nothing at all. My instinct snapped me into a state of high alert as I searched carefully inside a dimly lit room, arms outstretched, hoping I wouldn't bump into something and wound myself. I blinked my eyes repeatedly, and as my vision returned, images penetrated my consciousness. Eyesight sharpened, I spied a shimmering oval mahogany table with 12 handsomely crafted wooden chairs with etched frames and deep cushioned red velvet seats. The table caught the sunlight peeking in from beyond the dining room through the kitchen window with its tiny panes of glass and lattice framing. It was of a time long ago. I approached the back door and peeked out through a tall, narrow side window. I gasped as I spied a dense forest filled with 100-year-old pine, birch, oak, and black walnut trees, all coexisting as one, their branches intertwined. Something seemed familiar about this place. I found my courage, and it urged me to continue exploring my new surroundings. I passed through a low-set hallway and noticed 2 bedrooms across from one another. Each room contained twin beds, and I assumed the children's room was the one with colorful quilts adorned with patches of birds and animals. There were carvings in that particular room which drew me in. One carving was of a beaver, another was of a moose, and the third a wolf's head. It was much larger than the others, and it captured my attention, as the wolf was a kindred spirit to me. I ran my fingers along its nose and felt the etching on its face, wondering who had created this beautiful work of art. An energy burst punched me in the gut, and I woke seated in a high-back wing chair, facing a wall of leather-bound books placed neatly in alphabetical order on a floor-to-ceiling bookcase. My eyes played tricks on me as the illuminating light diminished as if on a dimmed timer switch. I approached the front window and pressed my face against the pane. Snow covered every inch of the window, and I trembled at the realization that I was trapped inside. I zipped up my treasured royal blue down parka gifted to me from Mom and remembered the last thing I had said to my grandparents' caregiver, Hannah. Help. If I'm not back, send help by the end of the day. How long had it been since I left O'Brien Manor? The crisp smell of freshly laid snowfall seeped into the cottage and froze my nose hairs, engorging my nostrils. As I wiggled my nose, my mind wandered to the fact that somehow I had transitioned back in time to the cozy but elegant surroundings of yesteryear. And that's where I'll leave it today.
All right. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Is, first of all, a great read. Lee, have you guys decided to, have you thought about turning this into a audio book?
Yes, we were just thinking about that.
Excellent, excellent. You did get a copy of the How to Convert Your Book into an Audio Book that I sent you?
Yes, and I wanted to. Yes, I wanted to thank you for the books that you provided. That's awesome, the e-books. Yes, thank you. I will look into that.
Not a problem. Okay, please do, because number one, and one of the things that I mentioned in this How to Convert Your Book into an Audio Book is that if you have a great reading voice and you're not shy and you don't mind doing the work, you can actually narrate your own book, and you have a great voice for that, Lee.
Oh,
so
my
I just kind
goodness.
of wanted to put it out there.
Oh,
right.
Okay. Well, thank you for saying that. You just don't know what you sound like, you know.
I know.
Thank you
about it. And we have to be careful because sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves, like me. I'll listen to the show as I'm creating the YouTube videos for it, but once I start talking, I don't like the sound of my voice, so I'll just make sure everything's okay, then I'll turn it off.
Right.
It's just something that we do. It's just
that's
really
right.
straight. Oh, absolutely. Now, Lee, another thing that I'd like to commend you on is that it looks like you have been working with your local library to get your books in there. Can you tell us about your experience working with your library?
Yes, we started as soon as Wake Me Up Inside came out. I did several readings there for that book and also for Destiny's Gate, and we did it in the teen section. And I approached the youth services librarian, and I do give a copy to the library because we just want to do that. So we've done that for both books, and this one just came out, so I'm yet to do that. But yeah, we found by doing a reading, it's next to where kids play on the computers, where they play computer games. And in the last reading, two of the kids that were playing games stopped and started listening, and now they're avid readers. And the librarians are still scratching their heads saying, "What did you do?" Because they wouldn't read a book if you put it in front of them. So I think that's all part of what we're trying to do, right, Lynda? We're all trying to promote literacy and. Yeah,
absolutely. And you know what? And here's what for those that are not into Christian fiction, please don't take this the wrong way when I say this, but there was a huge lack of reading for children before the whole Harry Potter books came out.
Right.
J.K. Rowling, she just started a whole generation of kids loving books like we did back in,
yes,
50s, 60s, or 70s. Now it's time for God's authors, and this is why I say I really believe that he's opened this up for such a time as this, because it's time for God's authors, because he that is in us is greater than he that is in the world. We should be able to put out books that will also encourage children to read and to love to read, and also a way to glorify the kingdom with, because there are great stories in the Bible that would be very comparable to some of the things that even what J.K. Rowling's put out, that children, once you introduce them to it in a way that they can understand, because, the thing is you have to meet people where they are. Rewrite some of those things. And like my Invisible Enemy series is actually a reworked version of the book of Job, and also the Ephesians 6:12 with the, our battle is not against flesh and blood, but spiritual. And so I have the angels and the demons interacting with the humans in there, right? And I'm going to tell you, Lee, just like you guys are getting some great reviews for your books, people are hungry for stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I really commend you and your son, right, for really doing this. You guys did a magnificent job with these books, and I like I mentioned, I really love the cover for Shine Your Light. You guys did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That really means a lot, Lynda.
Not a problem. Now, before we let you go, because we got about 3 minutes, it looks like your son did get a chance to call in. Tell us a little bit about. Tell us about J.R. Because he's doing something pretty interesting right now.
He's a PhD student in clinical pharmacology at the University of Toronto. So he's actually working right now, and he runs participants in a study that he's running. It is the effects of cannabis and alcohol on driver behavior using a driving simulator. And he just texted me just before we got online here together on the phone and said that there was a problem running the simulator. So I assume that that's what's happening. He's got this fellow that's doing this testing, and he really does say to apologize if he hasn't come on by now. That's too bad.
Not a problem. But, Lee, tell us how long, because I think this is interesting. You, in your author bios that you sent me, you put in here that J.R., and I believe this because my grandson is like this, you said he's been writing fantasy and horror since he was old enough to hold a pen. Talk to us about that.
Right. Yes, he sure has. Well, we always told stories to him, bedtime stories and things, and then he got into writing for himself. He's an only child, And as he would say right now if he was on the phone, he has some very vivid dreams, so that's why he started writing. And he actually wrote a book by the age of 10, and I loved it. It was a great novel, quite long. I think it was over 100 pages. And he threw it in a drawer because the series, remember the TV show Lost came on?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? And so it was sort of, it was like somebody took his novel and then sort of adapted it to TV. And he was so upset, he threw it in a drawer and said, "That's it, I'm never writing again." But luckily, I got him to join me in this series, and it's been an awesome experience for both of us. We had people warn us that, it might affect our relationship, but we were always close, and we're closer still, and it's just been nothing but a great experience for the two of us.
I'm also the mother of an only child, and there is a closeness there, that I don't think, and trust me when I tell you, you'll run into things that will try to destroy that relationship, but I think that relationship is usually so strong, and mine would probably a little bit more so, Lee, because my husband and I had separated and divorced when my son was little, so it was literally just the two of us. Right. Okay, so Lee, before I let you go, tell us how we can connect with you online.
Okay. So we are on Facebook. It's under Lee Bice Matheson, and Twitter. I'm at Bice Matheson, and Justin's at Justin R. Matheson, and I have a website www.leebicematheson.ca, and we're on LinkedIn. So basically that's the main ones that we're on. Yeah.
Excellent. We will post the link to your website on our Author Chat Facebook page so that our listeners can connect with you there. They should be able to also check out your other social media icons that you're connected with. And Lee, are you guys working on anything else at this time? Is there another book coming out in the series?
Yes, actually, I've begun book 4. But this is going to move more into the adult fiction because Paige is going to attend university now. And JR, because of his PhD, unfortunately, he can't join me for the next few because he's so busy. So that's quite understandable. And he said when he's done that, he wants to go back to writing with me. So, I mean, that really made me, very, very happy to hear that from him. He didn't have to say that. But anyways, so that's what I'm doing, and it will take on a little bit of a different sort of more mature part of her life, I guess. And we just hope that people like it. We've had a lot of encouragement for me to continue writing it. So that's good news.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you guys the very best. We do hate that JR could not make it, and we wish him well, and not only with his book, but also what he's doing at the university. I mean, he sounds like a very, very special young man. So you have a lot to be proud of there. Absolutely. Well, again,
thank you so much.
Sure. Go ahead, sweetie.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for having us, and it really means a lot. It's a week before Christmas, and I wondered if I could ask you and your audience to do my family a favor. My aunt is in the hospital, and I was hoping that people could join us in prayers for healing for her. She's been in the hospital for over a month now, and she's very, very ill. So on behalf of her family and her, we were hoping people could pray for her.
Absolutely. What is her her first name, please?
Carol. She's a character. That's one of the characters in her book. It's she's Carol with an E. Yes.
Carol with an E. Awesome. Yes, sweetheart, we'll definitely do that. That's one of the things that we do here at the Author Chat Show. You can also find my book, Powerful Prayers to Protect and Bless Your Family, on Amazon, and also my Amazon Facebook page with that, where I usually have people, they leave prayer requests there that I pray for. So we'll definitely do that. Okay? Well, thank you so
Lynda.
much. And, sure, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and thank you so much for coming on the Author Chat Show, sweetie. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, again, that was author Lee Bice, B-I-C-E, Matheson, M-A-T-H-E-S-O-N. And again, the title of the book is Shine Your Light. It is book 3 in the Paige Maddison Series, and she's spelling Maddison, M-A-D-D-I-S-O-N. Great cover. She's getting some great reviews about these books, as she mentioned earlier. They actually hit the Amazon's bestsellers list right after we were doing the correspondence to get her on the show, so I'm very, very happy for her. I think, again, guys, remember, these are great Christmas gifts. Give your children and your teens the book of the gift of knowledge. You know, always remember, if you don't have a Kindle, you can always download a Kindle app to your Android or your Apple operating system phones. Apps are available, and guess what? The app works just like the regular Kindle. So you can download her. The Kindle is currently $2.99. The hardcover is $26.99, and the paperback is $15.49. Well, that's our show for today, and believe it or not, we will not be with you until after the holidays, and with Christmas being, I can't even believe this is December the 18th, Christmas is here. 2016 is pretty much done. Praise God. This has just been a wonderful, magnificent year. Now, we don't have any shows scheduled until January. So this is my wish that you all have a very blessed and happy Christmas and a very blessed and prosperous New Year. Goodbye.